There we go. Okay, so this is a binomial. The degree is 1 because the highest degree of the monomials, 1 and 0, is 1. The second is what type, Reese? Binomial. What's the degree of this binomial? 1. Okay, now what's going on between these two binomials in this case? They're being subtracted, but it's weird when you subtract. That minus a negative that, or negative minus a negative. Oh, that gets really messy. Before we do this problem, I want to remind you guys of what subtraction even is. Does anyone remember when I wrote up here, definition of subtraction, and then I gave a definition? Mary Addison. Adding the opposites. That's what subtraction is, adding the opposite. Like, okay, I kind of remember that, but that only deals with numbers, right? That only deals with numbers. So we're kind of stuck here, aren't we? What is this worth? Isn't that a number? And isn't that a number? We just don't know what that number is, right? So does that definition of subtraction still apply? Yeah, it does. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Camille, can you give me a positive number?
7.
There you go, 7. Good recovery, right? Okay, that's 7. What's the opposite of 7? Negative 7. Okay, does anyone know? That's how I write my 7s now. It's just a thing. It's a fad. Okay, does anyone know what makes a number and its opposite opposites? Like, how do you know that they're opposites? How do you know we're just saying that they're opposite? There's something that tells you they must be opposites. Yeah?
When you place them on a number line, they're exactly 10 away from each other.
Oh, they're exact distance away from 0, right? One's negative 7, one's positive 7, so they're equidistant from 0. That's a good way to look at it. Anything else? Good.
Add to 0.
That's it. What's 7 plus negative 7? 0, right? Any number plus its opposite is going to be 0. All right, so Audrey, give me a negative number, please.
-3.
Negative 3. What's the opposite of negative 3? Positive 3, right? What's negative 3 plus 3? 0. Great. So you know what an opposite is? You could do this. You're allowed to do that. Okay, cool. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to apply that definition of subtraction to this problem because I want to make subtraction problems into addition problems. Wait, didn't we do addition yesterday?
Yeah.
Wow, it's like a review lesson. Okay, what's that little process we go through to make subtraction into addition? Do you guys remember that 3-step process? Everyone say the first thing. Stay, change. Please say the correct word. Opposite.
Flip.
Yes.
Flip.
My voice is cracking, and I'm excited about this. And I'm still growing, so that's why I'm like, oh man. And I got, you know what? This is now going online. They're gonna know that I'm still hitting puberty. Okay. Ready? Stay. So just rewrite that. Nothing changed. Stay. So it's the same process with numbers or with numbers. What happens with this negative sign or the subtraction sign? It becomes a positive. That's where we get the word change. So I did stay, change. And then I need to know what's the opposite of negative x plus 3.
X plus -3.
You almost had it. You almost had it.
voice crack. I got it.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Positive x minus 3.
Positive x minus 3.
No, I wasn't intentionally doing that.
No, we have to because Mr. A is.
Wow. I almost forgot to spell opposite. Okay. We're going to go through that same process to make a subtraction problem with polynomials as we did with numbers. So stay, change, and then the opposite. But how do you know that these really are opposites? Because I mean, they look opposites. They look like opposites, but that's not the rule for telling me about opposites. They look like they're opposites. All right, what's the first one they gave me was negative x plus 3. So we got negative x plus 3, right? That's what we had. And what did we say the opposite was? X minus 3. Yeah, you can say x plus negative 3 or just x minus 3. Okay, now if we add these two together, what are we supposed to get?
0.
If they're really opposites, what are you supposed to get? 0. All right, what's negative x plus x?
0.
Yeah, they got canceled out. They're 0. What's 3 plus negative 3?
0.
Oh, so we did get 0. So that means that x minus 3 is the opposite of negative x plus 3. Okay, all that to say.
That's a 6.
Sorry, right here. I was reading this.
Left.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, he was doing it.
Yeah,
that is a 6,
Yeah.
right?
That's okay. Yes, you're just making me clarify that. Yes, that's a 6 and that's a 6. My 7s are the weird looking ones. Okay, but here's what I want to tell you. You can think of it that way. We're like, okay, if you add opposite with each other, you get 0. But here's a simple way. When I'm trying to get the opposite of a polynomial, all I have to do is change the signs of each monomial. So what was the sign of x right here?
Negative.
Negative. So what does it become? Positive. What was the sign of 3?
Positive.
And then it becomes,
Negative.
that's all you do. You just change every sign in the second polynomial.
Oh my!
I don't mind cracking because I like this stuff, so I'll do it. Okay.
That's
Disgusting.
That's 7. Ew.
I think I'm going to clear this out right here. Okay, so you guys know what I did. Now we're actually going to do it. So this is review. What's 3x's like term?
6 of X.
X.
X right over here. They're like terms. All right, what's 3x plus 1x?
4X.
4x, good. Does 6 have a like term?
Negative 3.
So it's 6 plus negative 3?
3.
Positive 3.
Positive 3. That's your answer. That's all you're doing. That's the lesson. You're doing state change opposites. And then you're adding. So instead, we can call this subtraction, in parentheses, addition of polynomials. Or adding polynomials. Yes, ma'am?
Can I go to the restroom?
No.
Please. Yeah, I remember. I used to do this when I first started teaching. It was, I don't do it anymore. I ask a different question, or I say something different. So, can I go to the restroom? And I say, I'm sure you could, but not right now. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I ask if it's an emergency, please go. Okay.
They're all going to say yes.
Well, so what I had to do now, and I'll do this to you guys. If you have emergencies all the time, I'm gonna call your parents and say, hey, they keep having emergencies. Maybe they should get checked out with the doctor. You want me to call your parents? I don't mind. That's up to you. So next time you say it's an emergency, please make sure it is. Okay, here we have two polynomials being subtracted again. Now, somebody tell me what's the name of this polynomial. So monomial, binomial, trinomial.
Oh, I know. Oh, monomial. Oh, you meant the whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Okay.
So it's not mono. It's not a binomial. It's not a trinomial. It's a. You just call it a polynomial. Sorry. Cole. This second one. What is it called? Trinomial. Because guys, again, we're just wasting time. The other class, I would say
20 minutes.
90% of them got all their homework done in class. 90%. That could be higher for this class, but that depends on you. Yes, sir.
Can you change that nasty looking 7?
Yeah, I'll change that next time.
please.
I went back to my old ways. Okay, yes, ma'am.
So, wait, on the first problem, we only changed the second half. Why didn't we change the first half?
So it's kind of like with numbers, you do stay with the first number, change with the sign opposite of the second number. Yep. So here, I'm going to do the same thing. Stay, change, opposite. So to stay for the first one, I'm going to get 2x squared minus 7y plus 5x. Didn't everything just stay the same right here?
Yep.
That's the point. You want it to all stay the same. And then what does the subtraction turn to? Yeah, an addition sign. And what's the opposite of the second polynomial? I know Stella knows here.
3, oh.
I know that Stella knows. I know Kaden knows. Henry's good. Yes, Tyler.
What was the question?
I'm not sure Tyler knows now. Okay. Yes, Ruth.
Negative 3x to the second changed positive
Okay.
3x to the second minus 4y plus 1.
Yep.
Negative. Oh, wait, why do I have a 5 there?
Okay.
Oh.
This is something you've done before. Go ahead and rewrite it. Or go ahead and work it out. So add them up. Since this is what you did yesterday, right? You should have done this on your homework for last night.
Did we?
Similar problems.
I mean, if you did your homework, then you were.
No.
Okay, Colin, while you guys are working, is there a like term to 2x squared?
Yeah, 3x squared.
3x squared over here. What's 2x squared plus 3x squared?
5x.
5x squared. Mary Addison, is there a like term to negative 7y?
There's negative 4y, which should be negative 11y.
Negative 11y. Good. Is there a like term, Reese, to 5x?
No.
No. So I'll just put 5x. Positive, by the way, 5x. And then, Madison, is there a like term to 3? This 1. So 3 plus 1, 4. Okay. That is not my answer yet, because I want to write it in standard form. So help me out here, because this is where you guys start thinking. Okay, anyone want to help me out with standard form? Because that's not it. Colin?
5x squared. So 5x.
Okay, good. He added, or he combined, put these two together. What would you do next, Colin?
Minus 11y.
And then your plus 4? Okay. He went standard form according to the x variable, right? X squared, x to the first, x to the 0, x to the 0. Whoa. These both have x to the 0th. So why did he pick the negative 11y before the 4?
Because he likes negative 11.
Raise your hand if you think you know. Because technically they're both x to the 0th.
Wait, how did
Camille, what do you think? Why not switch these up?
Because it has a variable.
Okay, here's the reason why. Good job on that, Colin. Hopefully you were thinking this way. The 4 is a constant, and constants tend to go at the very end. It just ends up at the end. And so that gives me this spot. All right, that's it. Standard form. Could you write it according to y?
Yes. No.
Not really, no, because you get the negative 11y, and then which one of these should you put? I guess you'd put that one, but that's more subjective. Subjective. Yes.
How did you get here? 11.
Sorry, I have a question, yet I can't hear it.
Oh. I see.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
I see the laugh.
Go ahead and do this one, guys. Write it down, please, just the way it is. Ma'am.
I don't get standard form. First, I don't get why we have to do it, and then second, don't get why it's in descending order. Because last night I messed up and I did it in ascending order.
yeah.
So I had like 5x to the first and plus 5x or plus 7x to the second.
Yeah, so you went up.
Yeah. So why is it descending and why do we have to do it?
Okay, two great questions. I'm actually going to answer one of them, if not both, right now. Write this problem down, and I'll show you why we want to write it in a standard form. Okay. So, was it with your class where we talked about the standard that, in judges, did they have a standard?
No.
Okay, so I did talk to you guys. And we don't have to have a standard. We don't, you must have. But it's very, very helpful. And why? Well, let's look at this problem. Is this written in a standard? No, there's no standards. It's written with terms just kind of mixed in. Can you guys write in standard form for both polynomials? Who can give me the first polynomial in standard form? Just kind of give it to me that way. Yeah, Kaden.
Negative 14x squared.
And then keep going, sorry.
Negative 13x. And then positive 9.
All right, so that's the first one in standard form. So I'm just rearranging. Now, yeah, that's a good question. When I work this problem out, if I left it in non-standard form or an unstandard form, then I can still work it out, but my work isn't as easy. I'm kind of having to look back and forth to make sure, wait, which one's bigger? So this one's easier. And then another answer to your question, Stella, when you're doing something later on this chapter, it'll be the next unit technically, you're going to have to break these trinomials into separate binomials. And in order to do that, you got to get in standard form. If you don't have in standard form, I don't know. I don't even know what you do. But once I get in standard form, got it. And then we could do it. So it makes things easier to work with. And it makes our problems a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Think of it. Doesn't it look kind of organized?
I think the other one looks organized too, though.
Oh, okay. So, Stella, when we go to those future problems and I tell you to do this process, it's called factoring, by the way, I'll leave them in unstandard form. You know,
Why would you do that? Wait, leave them unstandard?
I'll leave them in, and then you'll be thinking to yourself, man, I really wish it was in standard. Thank you. All right, let's keep going. Yes, ma'am. Okay, write this in standard form. Yes,
You made a
good.
mistake.
Yes, Stella, standard form.
I forgot 120.
That's okay. Yes.
I know.
I'm still waiting. Henry, go ahead.
Positive 10x squared minus 7x minus 11.
Okay, so that's our standard form. All right, we haven't really done anything with the problem, just make it look differently, but what do we do to make it an addition problem? Mary Addison?
You have to, so you do stay change opposites and rewrite.
Stay. Good.
And then instead of subtraction sign, you do an addition sign.
Great.
And then it would be negative x squared plus 7x minus plus 11.
Good, yes.
And then also, like,
Go ahead and do it if you haven't done it already.
I got that, but I didn't do the
Standardize it.
standardized.
Good job.
Like, I did it ahead of time, but like,
Okay.
I didn't do it in standardized.
So you're not really a fan of standard, huh?
Me neither.
I like standard. I do too.
I'm just too lazy to put it in standard order.
Bingo. Okay. What do I do? Or are you asking a question or you know what I get? Okay, good.
Can I get you a drink?
After we get started with our homework. Yes. Oh, sorry. Stella up front then.
So this is very important. Turn down the lights.
Yeah.
Are you feeling tired? Lunch?
I'm really tired.
Oh, yeah. Let me dim them. That won't put you to sleep at all.
And then we leave.
Okay, Stella, back.
Another run through.
So like,
I may or may not have accident.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted.
What'd you say?
I'm distracted right now.
Her beautiful shoes.
Something like that. Awesome. All right, go ahead.
I may or may not have.
not putting it as stay change the opposite. And
It still works, by the way, yeah. If you did the math right. What's negative 14x squared plus negative 10x squared, Camille?
Negative 4. Negative 3.
it's on like
That's okay. That's good. Tyler, does negative 13x have a like term? Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Some of you are telling me you could do this very easily. That's okay. You were so enthused.
Seen the thingy before.
I know. Binders and
It's
pencils.
like one of those little quill thingies.
Okay, it's
A
called
calligraphy pen. There.
No, you do not have telepathy.
That's weird. Okay. What's negative 13x plus 7x?
-6.
Negative 6x. And then 9 plus 11.
20. Positive 20.
Some of you are communicating to me from the lack of listening. Oh, you could do a lot of these and get them all right. Because I don't mind giving you that. Okay, last problem that we'll do. This problem is written in what we call the vertical format. Remember that from the adding? So you could see these in vertical format and still be able to do it. And by the way, some of you may not like the vertical format, but just ask an 8th grader, do you ever add things like vertically with polynomials? And if they say yes, that is a good sign. If they say no, I'll talk to them about that later. Because they like this for certain problems. They're like, oh yeah, we like that way if they were thinking about it. If they're not, they're going to be like, no, I hate that way. No, you don't. You love it. I'll show you a problem. Oh yeah, I guess I do. Yes, ma'am.
So that negative sign, right? Does that make them all negative?
Okay, what this is saying is this polynomial minus that second polynomial. Yeah. So you notice the parentheses? That subtraction's outside. All right, stay. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about standard form and all that. Stay, change, opposite. So I'm going to change all the signs.
Wait, I didn't do that either.
It's the same thing, stay, change, opposite. Yeah, you don't have to, but again, ask those 8th graders. They're doing harder stuff, and they're like, yeah, we like doing
I just forgot.
Cool. That's okay.
What?
What's 17a plus negative 5a? 12a. What's 10b plus negative 6b? 4b. What's negative 16c plus positive 11c?
-5.
All right, I'm going to circle this answer and say that's standard form. Somebody tell me why I can call that standard form, because we do have 3 variables. What do you think, Chris? It's actually very straightforward. I hope you get it. It's alphabetical order. So listen. Yeah, you got to get the alphabet back into here. A, B, then C. That happens. In fact, a lot of problems. You put the X before the Y a lot of times, just because alphabetical order. That makes it easier. Okay. I think you guys are good. So does that kind of answer your question, Aiden? About standard form? Yeah, just write it in a form that A, then B, then C. Okay, go ahead and do that.
Scissors?